All right, welcome everyone to another episode of Simply Nerdy. This is Anthony. I'll be hosting today, giving Steven a well-deserved break. But with me is Steven.
What's up, guys?
And David.
Hello.
And Lisa.
Hello.
So what we wanted to do today was talk about our thoughts for the latest Nintendo Direct, because I don't know if I speak for the whole group, but I was actually pretty tickled with a lot of the stuff they showed. So we're just going to kind of give our highlights and talk about the things we're most excited for. One of the ones that was kind of an exciting surprise for me was the new Kirby game, the Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It's Kirby's first foray into 3D space, and I'm curious to see how well they pull it off. It kind of gives me some Odyssey-like vibes, which is a very good thing. And I don't know, it looks very solid for just a trailer so far. So I'm kind of cautiously optimistic at this point, but also kind of excited.
And wasn't this game, when it leaked, I mean, this game leaked a little while back, I believe. Didn't they say it was developed by the Odyssey team?
I think I did hear that, actually.
There was a lot of rumors. I thought it was like a 3D Donkey Kong game that they were saying was made by the Odyssey team or something like that. Yeah, it's just interesting to see like some of these rumors like eventually coming true. But what were you going to say?
I'm a big fan of the old 2D Kirby games. I admit I kind of fell off the wagon after the... I don't even remember what the title of the game is, but the one on the Super Nintendo. I kind of fell off after that, but this to me looks absolutely amazing. And it might get me back into some Kirby games, which I'm kind of excited about. This looks fantastic.
I was going to say, I'm also excited. The trailer looked really fun. I mean, the trailer made the game look really fun. David pointed out that in some Kirby games, like the fact that Kirby can just fly forever kind of breaks some of the platforming. So I'm hoping that they have something to make that not so OP.
That was exactly why I haven't considered myself personally a big fan of previous Kirby games, because it's a 2D platformer and I can float over every pit. I can float up to any ledge with, maybe it's a little slow, but it takes away all the challenge. So, as I say, that's why I haven't gotten deeply into many Kirby games.
I felt like that was a really interesting thing to point out, and I feel like it could be an issue in this game, especially like watching the trailer and how things look. Like, I wouldn't want to just be able to fly everywhere.
But I will say, I do think that they need to be wary of that. And I think, if they did something like what Smash does, where they limit how many times you can do it, then maybe that would help. But hopefully they just have some sort of unique take, that it's not just some sort of rip-off platformer with a broken jumping mechanic. Hopefully they find something unique to do, because I feel like that's what made Odyssey so special. And maybe if they manage to find that right balance for Kirby 3D, that it'll also be really good. But first impressions, pretty solid. Next on the list that was kind of a big deal that has me kind of excited is the expansion to the Switch Online. So we're getting N64 and Genesis games being added to the service.
Which, when I add, was completely out of left field for the Sega Genesis.
That's a surprise.
There was not even rumors for that. There was rumors for N64 coming at some point, but...
I mean, they had to come. It would have been so stupid if they didn't have it come. But Genesis is like, that's not even, like, it's not even yours.
They must be really good friends with Sega right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems that way. Anyway, there's a ton of classics we're getting. And so that's some solid service there. I feel like hopefully this is a sign that Nintendo Switch Online is going to keep getting better. I was pretty tickled with that. I mean, it wasn't one of the biggest things for me, because a lot of these I've either played recently or I have other ways to play that I prefer. But that's it. It's still a huge deal that a lot of people have been begging for a long time. So,
and the fact that Nintendo got the rights for Banjo-Kazooie to be included.
Yes,
in the N64.
That is such a huge thing.
Microsoft and Nintendo, you guys are friends too.
They're tight right now.
Hello. What else you got cooking?
I was excited for the Nintendo 64, but like when they scrolled past and it was Banjo-Kazooie was part of the list, that probably had me most excited. I haven't played that game in forever.
Yeah, good stuff there. This next one was kind of a little bit more out of left field, considering that most of Nintendo Directs are based on gaming news, but they did a casting reveal for the new Mario movie, and it's got kind of a hilariously all-star cast there. Chris Pratt as Mario. I'm really curious to see how he's going to characterize that, because Mario, ever since Charles Martinet started voicing him in Mario 64, he's always had kind of that more high-pitched tone, but that's not the impression I get from Chris Pratt, and I'm wondering if they're going to change his voice a ton for this movie. That'll be really interesting. But there's just a lot of really fun-looking people on there, and I'm really excited to see how they characterize him.
Especially for Jack Black being Bowser. That's what I'm most excited about. I think they couldn't have picked a better actor to play Bowser. But maybe it's just me. But I've heard some mixed opinions online. But for me personally, I think he's going to do a fantastic job. I'm super excited.
Jack Black, he's had a ton of experience voice acting for animated shows. And Chris Pratt has quite a bit too, with like the Lego movies. And
yep.
I feel like he's done a good job. But I also feel like he kind of just voices himself, right? It's just his voice acted well, but
yes, I agree.
So I'm having trouble imagining what Mario Pratt will sound like. But
it kind of reminds me of the Detective Pikachu movie, where we were all like, Ryan Reynolds is playing Pikachu. We were like, what the? That's going to be weird. But then you watch it, and it made sense. It worked.
Yeah, it was because it was part of the story. Yeah, it was part of the story, and it makes me wonder if are they going to do something similar here, where like voices get swapped for some reason, or so it's hard for me to imagine what it's going to sound like. But I have to say something. Can you imagine watching a whole movie with like complete lines of dialogue where Mario was doing the high-pitched Italian accent the entire time? Like,
no,
weird. That would be hard to listen to after a very short amount of time, I think. So people are like, oh, Chris Pratt, that doesn't make any sense. But I feel like maybe they're going in a different direction on purpose,
All right. I do have some thoughts on this, and I can see a lot of your guys' points. But I have to say, I'm kind of more on the side of I am excited for Jack Black. Like, I think he'll do a great job. And I'm excited for Chris Pratt because he's so happy about it. But I'm kind of ticked that more and more every role that could go to a talented voice actor is just going to a celebrity instead, because celebrities, people look at them and they're like, oh my gosh, the celebrity I know is in this movie, so I'm going to go see it. It's kind of annoying.
I can definitely see that point.
I can definitely see your point. I hope they manage to pull a pretty good performance. I feel like the ones they selected, at least, I could see them, bringing a lot of vitality to the roles. There's certainly high-profile stars that I would have been less happy with. So I'm hoping it'll be decent.
If they give Mario a lower voice for this new movie, it's not the first time that's happened.
I gotta say, I should probably let you introduce it first. But Anthony, they baited you, but bad.
I know.
But bad.
I
was like, ouch. Ouch for Anthony.
Okay, so what Lisa's referencing for this next one is the Bayonetta 3 re-reveal, as they're calling it here on Polygon, which we got a release date with it too, didn't we?
No, I think it's just next year.
Oh, well, okay. Then that was even more just a teaser then. All right. Well, anyway, so Bayonetta 3. When we were first watching the trailer, they showed the dog from Astral Chain. Suddenly, I can't remember the name. I was thinking that they were announcing Astral Chain 2, and I screamed kind of a lot until suddenly Bayonetta appeared on screen, and they're jerks.
I'm sorry.
I mean... it's a major deal for Bayonetta fans.
Yeah.
So
we are definitely happy for the Bayonetta fans. But if you haven't seen Anthony's Astral Chain Combat series, Anthony is very much into Astral Chain, like hardcore. Like, he loves it, and he's getting me to play it again. Actually, I still have to go through that combat series myself and give it another shot. But for real, like, he's a big fan. So that was. I'm sure you were pretty upset.
I was very sad, and I want to be interested in Bayonetta because it looks like it's crazy fun, but there's just a few edgy elements that are kind of not my speed, so I might have to pass on it. But I understand that it's definitely a big deal for a lot of people, so I'm happy for all of you who are excited for this game, but they revealed it in the maximally mean way for me. That's all I'll say. All right. Splatoon 3. Steve, you should probably lead us on this one.
Oh my gosh, Splatoon 3 looks amazing. It's going to be more lore, definitely. It's the return of the mammalians, or however you say that word.
Mammalians.
Mammalians, there we go. Super exciting. I loved the new power-ups, the new powers that they showed. It's just crazy to me that this is a new franchise that Nintendo introduced just a few years ago on the Wii U, and then as we've had the sequel on the Switch, and we're getting another sequel on the Switch next year, and it's just crazy to me how much Splatoon has grown. But I really hope they take this opportunity in this game to kind of revamp the single player a little bit and give the single player, if there is single player, I'm sure there will be single player. They've had years to work on it, but the single player looks like they're definitely going. It's going to be big, basically. Whether or not it's open world remains to be seen, but the single, it looks so good in the single player. And the old multiplayer, I love what they're doing with the multiplayer. I love the changes they're making. I'm just super stoked. I cannot wait for this game.
I feel like I'm cautiously excited myself. I have enjoyed the Splatoon games, but I wouldn't consider myself the biggest fan. But it looks like it's an exciting expansion to the approach they've taken so far. So I'm definitely curious.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Anthony. I want to like it because I see how much people like the games, and the lore looks interesting. It looks like they've actually have an interesting world behind it all. That I'm kind of with you, where I'm cautiously excited. Like this, it looks pretty cool.
As for me, I played a bit of Splatoon 1 forever ago, but I didn't play a lot for reasons. I don't remember what the reasons were, but they were good ones. And I didn't get Splatoon 2, and while I'm interested in the story of Splatoon 2 and Splatoon 3, I don't know if I'll be able to be okay with the multiplayer. I view myself as prone to rage.
Blurbs at this point, I think. Monster Hunter Rise expansion, the G-Rank expansion, Sunbreak. They didn't tell us a whole lot. They said it's massive.
It looks massive.
And there will be a bunch of new stuff. And I'm really quite excited for this because I love this game so far. And it sounds like they're going to be adding, I think they said even, hunting actions. Sounds like there's a lot of really good stuff here. And I'm pretty excited for that one. It's a long ways away, but definitely on my radar.
We all got into it pretty big this year. It was the major game this year. And
at least for Simply Nerdy.
Yeah, and it's definitely my favorite way to play a multiplayer online.
Yeah, yes, that's what I was saying. It's right now, it's my favorite online multiplayer game that I've ever played. So, it's just awesome. I'm looking forward to them adding a significant expansion to it. This
next one, I'll just say very quickly. So this is Chocobo GP. It's basically Final Fantasy meets Mario Kart, but I think it looks better than Mario Kart. I'm not a very big Mario Kart fan, if you didn't know. This looks like kind of an interesting.
Mario Kart is where Anthony has rage.
Yeah, that is the game where I have rage. I'm sorry. I'm working on it, but I don't often want to play the game. This just looks like an interesting take, but maybe I'm just a Mario Kart hater. I don't know. Anyway.
Add some RPG into Anthony's Mario Kart, and then
there we go.
There we go. Yeah, I don't know. I just like the idea of there's a little bit more strategy to picking up the item boxes. If you stack the fire ones, you get more powerful stuff. For me, what Mario Kart boils down to is getting hit by things, and if I manage to pull a thing, then I hit someone else, and then I might get hit again, and I might maybe drive, but I'll probably just get hit.
Can we just also appreciate the fact that the Chocobo is wearing little skates? It's so cute. I think I'll if I get the game, I'll be a Chocobo main.
Yeah,
it's so cute.
So I think this one was pretty cool. Is the Castlevania Advance Collection? So I already picked it up because I've been wanting to replay these games for a while. Apparently, it seems like Aria of Sorrow is basically everyone's favorite Castlevania these days, and I feel like I need to replay it with new eyes. But I liked all three of the Advance games, and so I was excited to pick that one up again.
I haven't bought it yet like you, but I in the same boat. Good memories of a lot of these Advance games. So, and I've actually never played Aria of Sorrow, so I might have to get it just so I can finally play that one.
I might be speaking blasphemy, so I'll just not say anything and we'll move on.
Well, Stephen, let me just put it this way. First of all, you've never played a Castlevania game, and
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, let's just move on.
Okay. Well, also, Stephen, you're a Metroidvania fan, so you should do yourself the favor of playing these games at some point.
I should.
I have a good bit to say on this next one, but we've only got 5 minutes, so I'm going to hurry. ActRaiser Renaissance. So that was a really fun surprise for me because lately I've been getting back into kind of my Super Nintendo games, and I put it on my list of games to find some, to dig up from some retro store to get the original ActRaiser, and then they announced this, and I was like, oh, nice. Okay, you just made my job easy. But just a few quick thoughts. Like I've only finished 2 areas so far, so I don't think I'm super far into the game, but I've really enjoyed it so far. I feel like a lot of people have had some kind of criticisms of the art style, and I will say that it kind of looks, the art style itself kind of looks a little budget. Like some of it seems not optimized, I'll admit that. But the game otherwise holds up really well. The music is redone fantastically. I feel like the kind of almost RTS-like mode, like town defense mode they added to the simulator sections is actually really compelling, and it gets even better as you go along. Like, I'm really enjoying it, and it's been forever since I played the original, but I might think this one's better, other than the art style. But for me, graphics is the least important thing. I mean, the fact that we have NES-style games coming out these days that are getting 10s, I think says that, graphics don't make the game. And I think that applies here. I've really enjoyed this one.
I'm excited. I've loved this game I used to play it obsessively when I was younger. So I haven't bought it yet, but I plan to.
Steven?
Yo. Oh! Animal Crossing is getting its own Direct, and so is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, which was kind of a surprise for me, because Animal Crossing, we've been waiting for an update for a long time. So, with that Nintendo, it better be big. I mean, it looks like it's big. They're bringing back a really fun feature from a previous title, so with some new characters as well, or with some returning characters, I should say. But I'm excited to see who they are, and I'm excited to see what new features they bring. Hopefully, some new features for Halloween. Nintendo. And then Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, it's getting its own Direct as well. So I'm hoping, well, at least they said it's going to come on October 5th, so I'm hoping it has something to do with a Metroid character maybe coming into the game. But I know other people have other hopes. That's totally fine, like Waluigi, hashtag Waluigi or Gino, or whatever you're hoping for. But for me personally, it'd be really cool if they announced the Metroid character right before the release of Metroid Dread, which was also in the Direct, and which I will also say I buy Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
That's all I have to say about that. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah. So I think overall, let's kind of give our final thoughts. I really enjoyed this Direct. I thought it was one of the most just kind of fun with a lot of really good announcements and just kind of an overall, like, it just seemed like they were kind of pulling out all the stops. And there's a lot of stuff I'm excited for coming up, as well as some things I'm really intrigued by. I'm pretty pleased with all the fun little bones they've been throwing. Like, again, ActRaiser Renaissance being kind of one of my favorites. I really enjoyed it, and I feel like plus there was a lot of things they showed for early next year. It's looking like next year is already going to be really solid. Mm-hmm. So I mean, Kirby alone, that's got me pretty excited. So, and Sunbreak, yeah.
Yep.
I also have to mention I'm really excited for Rune Factory 5. I've never played a Rune Factory, but I hear it's amazing, so I'm probably going to get that. Sounds awesome. And also, I cannot remember the name for the life of me because I'm a terrible person, but the one that Persona is related to, and it's like...
Oh, Shin Megami Tensei.
Thank you, Shin Megami Tensei. I also hear really good things about that series, so I'll probably keep an eye on it and maybe get it. Woohoo! That was a great Direct, and I had fun at the end.
Nice.
I agree. I don't have much to add. I just thought it was great.
Very similar to E3 Direct.
Okay, so anyway, that's kind of the conclusion to our long-winded thoughts. I feel like we're all pretty excited for what's coming. But let us know your thoughts in the comments and what you are most excited for coming up.
And please like and subscribe. It always helps us out.
And until next time, keep it nerdy.
Keep it nerdy.
Bye, Metroid Dread.
Bye, Metroid Dread.
Keep it nerdy.
Yeah, that's the cutting one.